So, Mikey Cortes, he's in a band called The Attack. You are here
Yeah.
with us on Up to Your Ears. I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Josie.
All right.
Hey, my gosh, we have Mikey Cortes with us today. I'm very, very excited. He's super rad, and he is in a band called The Attack. Plays bass in that band, but he's one of those multi-instrumentalists. Like, he's one of those guys that can play everything. Yeah.
So what's
Yeah.
up?
Some fun questions
Well-
for you. I was going to ask you about yourself because you said that, you'd gotten some new stuff in. And what are you excited about that just arrived?
Let's see. Usually when I find new music and when stuff comes in, it's when my coworkers play it. So I had one coworker play me a record by a band called All Them Witches, and I love that. It's
Heard of him.
I don't know anything about them. It's got a heavy, almost stoner, but it's not metal. It's just heavier, low gain, low tune guitars, and the singer has a low timbre voice, but it almost listens to it's almost like guys that are playing stoner rock because it has a slow, almost soundscapey aesthetic, but they're still singer-songwriters in the sense that there's arrangements and it's not the same part for like 20 times. So
Right.
changes and arrangements and there's traditional song structures with like choruses and bridges and verse, but they're a little longer than normal and a little heavier, but it's just the right balance. I got hooked on that.
Cool.
I got really hooked on this record from a band from Montreal called Pottery. They have a very Talking Heads, LCD sound system, heavy percussive, staccato vocal via with lots of instrumentation.
Cool.
That's a really fun record.
That's
really
like
catchy songs. I think you guys would like them. And then sometimes I got some coworkers that play straight up pop, and I get hooked on the catchy stuff too, like the new Dua Lipa.
Oh, really?
I
That shit
love
got
hip
stuck in my head,
hop. And I like Lizzo. She's great.
Yeah, all that record is fire.
It is.
Because
It's
I love the
so
record.
good.
And I think she's an accomplished flautist.
It's rad.
Well, we should get you these questions.
Yeah,
What
are
do
you
say,
ready for
Vanessa?
these?
I don't know.
They're
got-
gonna be fun.
all right.
Fun. Okay.
I'm so ready. Truth? Well, I don't have a rep to protect, so it's gonna be a lot of truths.
Okay,
It's gonna be a lot of truths then.
All right. Booze, weed, or all three?
Booze, whiskey.
Whiskey.
I mean,
Preferred brand?
I got hooked on. I am not snobby.
Kitschy or trashy?
Kitschy or trashy? I like trashy better.
All right.
Yeah, I can get down with
Beats
trashy.
or melody?
I know this is a tough one for most people.
Yeah, because I want to say melody right away, but then at the same time, what good is the melody if the groove isn't there and you lose the melody? It's too fast, you can't hear the notes, or if it's too slow and it's boring. But I definitely, as a writer, I'd definitely go with melody first, and then shortly thereafter the beat. So I think I'm a melody first. By it's very tough. By a little bit.
Phone at the table, yes or no?
Ooh.
No.
No, good for you.
No way.
Yay, Mikey.
Donuts or croissants?
Oh, I've got a Krispy Kreme by me. That's tough because I love croissants too. They got that hot and ready sign, when it's good to go.
That smell
Mikey's
is like
breakfast secrets revealed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Krispy Kreme. It's in the hood.
damn.
That's my
Yeah.
jam. Yeah, place to be.
All right, your thoughts on running? Health measure?
Oh, running?
Yeah, running. Health
Okay.
measure or escape plan?
Both. I run every day,
Good for you. Both.
Cool.
so it keeps me. It does two things. It keeps me sane, and if I
And
need to
clearly
go,
keep you
if I need
safe
to,
because you can outrun.
yeah, yeah. So if the zombies come, yep.
All right. Have you read all those books on your shelf, or are you merely a collector?
I don't have that many
Yes,
books,
they
so yeah, I
are.
read them all.
All right,
my
those are my questions. Now
Okay.
you're in the hands of Josie.
However you look at it.
All right.
What was your first concert ever?
Oh, Brian Adams and Toto with my dad.
What? Oh
Yeah.
my God,
That's a good one.
that's so great.
Yeah, it was Toto opening up, and Brian Adams was on tour doing for the Summer of '69 album.
Wow.
First time at a show.
I
First
like
time
Brian
hearing
Adams.
first time hearing like arena volume. I'll never forget walking out and just the ringing of the ears,
Yeah.
and you can't hear anything. And that was my first show. I'll never forget it. That's when we lived in when we were living in Texas back a long time ago.
That's an awesome first show, I have to
Yeah.
say. That's pretty tops. It's up there.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2. If you happen to find yourself on death row, what would your last meal be?
I love to eat. I don't care how much I weigh. I eat like a fat kid, and all my friends make fun of me. My nickname is Feed Me.
Fun facts with Mikey Cortes.
Yeah, I love food. It's bad. That's why I have to run. So my last meal,
Yep.
you're making this tough. Probably something my parents would cook. And,
Like?
my mom made, and this is so funny because my parents are Puerto Rican, but they didn't do a lot of traditional Spanish foods. My mom liked to try different things, and my dad's great in the grill. So it would have to be some steak that my dad cooked on the grill on one side of the plate, and the lasagna my mom cooks on the other side of the plate. That would be my last
Ooh.
meal.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Lasagna
that's
saves
awesome.
the day, right?
And then my dad eats avocado with everything, no matter what it is. If it's soup, if it's steak, if it's Italian, he always has an avocado. So it'd have to be an avocado on the side as well, on the third part of the plate.
On the third part.
Yeah,
Favorite
like a little space for
avocado.
avocado and a little bit of salt. That would be the last meal.
Okay, number
me
3.
hungry.
Are you ready? Have
I'm
you
ready.
ever been starstruck by another musician?
Oh yeah, I remember the first time Fred Schneider from B-52s walked into the record store because he was friends with some neighbors
Uh-huh.
that he was just in the hood. He was just hanging out, and he came in the store, and he was a trip. He was real mellow, he was always looking for Italian disco. That was a fun one, and actually,
Italian disco, I love it.
yeah, like that's not somebody I thought I would get starstruck by, but he came in, and I was like, oh, that's really fucking cool, and I was really stoked about that.
What is the weirdest, strangest venue you've ever played?
Oh, we played with the band. I have a band now that I play bass in called The Attack, and we played out in St. Pete, which is about 2 hours west of here. It's on the coast. And this band from there, we were swapping shows. So they played here at Will's Pub, which is a venue about a mile away. And then one of the venues that we were supposed to play the next night, it got shut down. So the singer of that band from St. Pete, and I think they were called Switchblade Symphony, he lived close to what was like the warehouse district in St. Pete, and he knew a guy who had built what he called, I think it was called Tiny Town. And Tiny Town was about the size of half a city block, and he had made a block, like a mini town. It was about 1/2 scale, almost Disney style, with storefronts, real store signs painted fully. It looked like fully functioning storefronts, but half scale, with a walkway down the middle.
Uh-huh.
And it had a mini drive-in with a real
Did it of his own
screen.
volition, just like this will be cool.
Well, he was an artist, and I think he used that a lot for people to have like events. If you were having a wedding, you could do it on those grounds and then have a reception, or if you wanted to do some kind of art thing or what have you. It wasn't meant for shows. It wasn't meant for any kind of bands, and I'd never heard of it. And you can't see it when you drive by. It's all surrounded by a 12-foot high wooden fence. And we didn't know about, we heard the venue got changed, but we didn't know what it was. So we show up, and it's about 9 o'clock at night. It was a late show, and we walk into the fence, and we're in Tiny Town. And it's real storefront.
And it's just called Tiny Town?
It's called Wild. It almost felt like a block party because because of the way the laws are, it wasn't officially a venue, so it was free to get in, BYOB. They had a little grill in the back, and they turned what was the storefront for the taco, which had a bit of a raised level. That was the stage with a couple of self-powered speakers. So we're just playing in Tiny Town. Tiny grill, tiny weenies, tiny drinks.
Oh my gosh. All right.
I love it.
From tiny, yeah. Moving on to the next question. Mikey, what is one piece of clothing that you cannot live without?
Oh, probably the shorts I'm in. I'm in these shorts all the time. It's sad. Comfortable. I have different eras of comfortable shorts that I wear them till they fall apart, and then something
And then you
happens.
Side pockets, cargo pockets, no pockets.
Regular pockets. It's a string to tie them up. You know, nothing fancy, just good around the house shorts. But I'm in these things all the time.
good around the house, and if you happen to find yourself at a pool or a beach, you can hop in. It's cool.
Absolutely, easy
Yeah.
breezy. That's my go-to.
That's where you
Especially-
buy them in the store in the section that is easy to wear shorts.
Yeah.
I'm a creature of convenience, and I
Same
won't
that-
get.
Right.
But I always find them on accident. I didn't buy them with that intention. I'm just like, oh, okay, these could be the ones, and then there'll be no other ones until they completely fall apart. I used to have a pair of like beat up army shorts, like that army almost cargo but almost military shorts, and they were falling apart, but they were like tissue, and I loved them. And those would be the shorts I'd wear when we'd load the van, ride to the venue, load out before it changed. And our drummer hated them. He always gave me a rash of crap about it. And then we'd played a show somewhere like an hour away, and I was taking off we were changing in the van, and then my go-to shorts had fallen out of the van. I was changing out, trying to look for them. And somebody was drinking in the van, or something happened, and somebody got sick from drinking in the van, and they threw up all over the shorts. And that's how I lost them. So our drummer, I think our drummer made it happen because his wish came true, and I never got to use them again.
Oh my
So-
gosh. He probably
This is what I think of these things.
I think he orchestrated it. I think he invited somebody to the van, gave him half a bottle of whiskey, and said, "Throw up on those shorts." Worked. He took them out.
And that guy was all challenge accepted.
Moving on. Who is the last person you talked to on the phone? Mikey Cortes.
Last person. Oh, I talked to the owner of the store last night after I left. We got to catch up on who did what did I fuck up, you know.
Yeah.
What kind of trouble did I cause? What did I forget to do? I have to reassure them sometimes that things are good when I leave. Yeah. Oh, I've taken things out. It's bad.
Oh my
They're like,
god.
the needle's on the record, the door's
Yeah.
unlocked.
Well, it's crazy because like you're in the back dealing with like used vinyl. You're not even like on the floor. How do you mess stuff up, Mikey?
I have to be I get pulled away sometimes.
The thing's going through my head right now. Like, what is
It's
this
all-
litter of kittens doing here?
From here, there's no going back.
Myself, I don't know.
It's just all little miracles that happen that I leave behind, my dust, my magic dust.
Oh.
It's
All
bad.
right, Mikey, coastal access or inland empire?
Coastal.
Yeah.
Got to be coastal. My family's from Puerto Rico. I grew up by the water, growing up in Florida, love
Yeah.
California. Coastal
Now I
for
hear
sure.
you. Yeah.
Coastal for sure.
Okay. What is your dream tour? So say the attack. Easy. Okay.
Easy.
Who?
Yeah, I would love for us to open up, if it's any band here or not, I would love to open up for The Clash touring across Asia. I've never toured Asia, and The Clash is my favorite band. So those
Yes.
two things, I could do that, and you could take me out, and I'd
Yeah.
die a happy man.
Okay, Mikey, what is the strangest thing a fan has ever said or given to you?
I remember there's a guy that follows us around when we play like around like northern Florida, and we'll play a lot in Savannah and Atlanta, and he's from around that area. Really cool guy. He loves music in general. He tours all over the country catching his favorite bands, everything from Kiss to small punk bands. And he got a fucking Attack tattoo. We have a logo where it's a 45 spindle with the band name and something that goes around the 45. It's like a one color print that we had for a t-shirt design for a long time, and he got it right here. And
Oh my gosh.
And he's a genuinely humble, soft-spoken, awesome. He's just a big hardcore music fan, and he takes his sons out to shows, and they travel all the time. That's what they do. And he showed us a tattoo, and we all like about fell out of our skin. I couldn't believe it. And it
What
was
a
Serious
good.
business.
Yeah.
What a compliment, though.
I'll never forget that. That's the wildest thing I've ever seen somebody do
Yeah.
for anything I've ever been involved in. Like, yeah, that's one
That's
for the books.
Okay, last question from me.
All right.
What advice would you give your 15-year-old self?
Appreciate what you do. Appreciate the music that you play, the people you're playing with, and what you're doing. Not to take it too seriously, but I think there's times where I look back and I think I took for granted that I was playing shows and doing music. After a while, it became like just something I did, and I've always appreciated it. But there are definitely times where I wish I paid more attention and soaked things a little bit more in.
Yeah.
Especially when it came to some of the recording stuff and recording sessions I did when I was younger. And I wish I paid more attention. I would have learned so much more because, you know, that stuff is always useful, but definitely soak it in as much as you can. I mean, I definitely do.
Really great advice. And I think that oftentimes with that question, Vanessa, we are like, that's great advice for us now. But we want to know what you're doing now and what you have going on. To let people know that what's happening with the Attack, what's happening with your new project. I know you have a new project, Summer Spiders. Is that right?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things going on. So obviously no shows or no touring anything right now, but the Attack, we're still, you know, when things pick back up, hopefully we'll get into some more songwriting or putting out some music. But for the meantime, you can go to the attack.us for all things Attack music related and photos and all of us goofing off. I have a solo project where it's just basically stuff I do on this little setup here with a laptop and a couple speakers. It's all the stuff I write at home, called Summer Spider.
Found our new home behind the last door.
I also just joined a project with, do you remember Mike from Shyster and the New Lows?
Oh,
And
yeah.
So I'm playing with those guys now. They have a split release with a band from New Orleans. I think they're called High and Curtains. So you can find that streaming everywhere. And then I have another project with a friend of mine called
Japanese Blood.
working on some music just to collaborate. And then I had to send him like a file. I didn't know what to name it. So I just, you know, I took half of his Instagram name and the Spiders thing and called it Japanese Spiders. So we've been going into that moniker, and we've got about 4 or 5 songs up on Bandcamp. And so now with no shows or anything, I'm just steady writing and releasing, and I hope to have some new Summer Spider stuff out in the next few months.
Awesome.
I'll
Very,
keep
very
you all
cool.
posted there.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I love
Soon, okay.
This
Take
has
care.
been Mikey
Sure.
Cortes of the
Yeah.
Attack and Summer Spiders of Park Avenue CDs.
In Orlando, Florida.
Awesome. I'll see you all.
Okay.
All right.
Bye,
Have a
Mike.
great
That
day.
was super
Joining us,
fun.
everybody, today. I hope you enjoyed meeting Mikey Cortes of the Attack and Summer Spiders.
Yes, and check out his stuff. It's super fun. And I know the Attack has toured with bands like the Misfits and Flogging Molly. So if any of those bands are kind of up your alley and you haven't heard of the Attack, check them out. We'll put a link below.
Absolutely. Join us again on Up to Your Ears. I'm Vanessa,
And I'm Josie.
and it sounds good.
Definitely.